Good afternoon, people, social media folks. I feel like I need to have that music continue into the intro. I'm going to work on that next time. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another VisionFriendly.com social media live broadcast. This is our second one, and it's going to be even better this go around. I'm VisionFriendly.com social media manager, Dave Pardo. If you're watching this right now, you're either on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. And for those that are watching, thank you very much for following our pages and allowing us to stay in touch with you with information about what we do every day for clients and information about upcoming events and so much more. So today, I'm here to promote our upcoming webinar program. But before I get into that, I'd like to introduce one of our guest panelists for our next webinar, who will be sharing some insights to how we create award-winning website content. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our VisionFriendly.com project manager and content creator, Dave Damron. How are you, Dave?
Doing well, thanks, Dave. A little bit of pressure saying I'm going to do better than Tom. So,
thanks so much for joining us. This is an opportunity for us to introduce you. You're going to have the opportunity to tell us a little bit about what you are going to cover in next week's webinar. But first, I just wanted to wish you a belated birthday. Yesterday was your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you much. And I'm glad the webinar was a little late. So,
and so your birthday landed on a Wednesday yesterday. So did you count last weekend, your birthday weekend, or is it this weekend?
No, I don't want to double down on the 4th of July. I like having 2 solid weekends.
Well said. Well done. Yeah, there we go. So I wish you a great birthday weekend this coming weekend. So let's talk a little bit about why we're here and the things that you are going to cover in our upcoming webinar. Now, Dave, you've been with Vision Friendly for some time now. How many years with the company?
It will be 4 years, October 16th, I believe. So I've been here for a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah, and you wear a number of different hats. Today we're going to be talking about project management and content creation, something that we're focused on talking about in our upcoming webinar. But first, I'd like to introduce the webinar, tell our viewers about the webinar. From our Friendly Marketing Tip Live series, we have a handful of them under our belts so far. But our next one is entitled SEO and Other Content Marketing for Better Results. This is scheduled for Thursday, July 15th at 1 p.m. Central Time. So we're going to be talking in a second about what we plan to talk about overall. But if you're interested in registering, and we hope that you can, please go to VisionFriendly.com/webinars. Okay, so enough of me talking. Let's start with Dave here. Briefly, tell us a little bit about what you're going to cover in a general sense on our webinar next week.
Absolutely. I believe that the best value that I can provide to our customers is developing content strategies for the individual businesses and customers. You can't approach these things with just a general idea. We need to come up with ideas specified for your business, your website, your company. Things are going to be radically different from a B2B to a B2C type of website. And on top of that, there's also specialty websites, medical websites. So I plan on giving a couple examples of how we can identify what's best for your website.
Yeah, we work with so many different industries and the type of sites that we create. I know they differ from one client to the next, and I'm sure you've had the experience of dealing with so many different types of clients that know what their strategy is, and sometimes they don't know what their strategy is, or they believe that they know what their strategy is. And I think that what you bring to the table is the experience of kind of steering them the right way. What I guess that kind of leads me into a question I've got. What's the misconception that a client might have coming into a project that you work with them on?
I think the biggest misconception is that building website is just a one and done thing. You come to Vision Friendly or come to another web designer, you pay them X amount of money, they build you off, you're good to go. It's not like that. It's something you need to maintain and stay on top of. Think of it more like a car. You don't change the oil, it's eventually going to start failing. It's not going to get you to your destination. So I think that's the biggest thing. We've got customers coming in after 5 years of a redesign without any maintenance, no work on the site, and they want to know why it's not ranking as high on Google. It's not converting as often. And it's because they haven't put time into it, and they haven't reached out and got some specialty help from a company like us or any other to keep them at the top of their game.
Yeah, I bet. And something that you had mentioned, there's projects that they work with us on, and they believe that they're done. And, it's an ongoing maintenance type industry. Well, things kind of change regularly, and, behaviors change, and there's new things that clients and everyone needs to know about. And of course, it's really up to us to keep educated and knowledgeable of those things. And I think in your position where you're talking with the client and also communicating, in between the client and our designers, there's a lot of information that you need to share with them to kind of get them to understand what's important and so forth. Am I right on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Customers will come to me with their idea, their vision. Usually I'll get a designer involved, and it's our job to not only get their vision, make it a reality, it's also to make it work in the industry as well. So it's interpreting what their vision is, accomplishing it, and also giving it that fine tuning that Vision Friendly can offer. For
sure. Yeah. What's the best part of your position as project manager and content creator would you are willing to share?
I think it's the results, and I know it's kind of cheesy to say that, but whenever you're working on a project with people, there's going to be a back and forth, disagreements. But at the end of the day, when we get your site up and running and you see that our work is doubling or tripling your conversions, it gives me a great sense of pride. I redesigned a website last year, and since we did that, their online profits, and they've quadrupled since then. And me and the customer had a little bit of a back and forth, but we love each other now. We talk to each other all the time. So just gotta have a little bit of faith and trust us.
I don't doubt that is as one of the most satisfying things when you start seeing your work come into play and actually see results. And the way that we're all measured is how successful we can be, how successful our clients are. I think that's how we measure ourselves. So you hit that on the head there, and I completely agree with that. So I do want to mention one thing to everyone that's watching, and this is something that's really, really valuable. It's cool that we're able to do this, and I'm excited to share this information. Now, for everyone that registers for our upcoming webinar, it's the first 50, correct? The first 50 companies that register for our upcoming webinar will receive an exclusive SEO website audit. With this audit, you'll be able to know if there might be any issues with your current SEO campaigns. You're able to view your competitor's SEO profile. You can also compare your efforts with your competitive businesses, and then get introduced to SEO monitoring tools and more. I think this is huge. I think this is a $250 value, but when you really look at it in the overall scheme of things, if you are able to correct your SEO processes, it's just extremely valuable. You can't really put a price on that. What do you think about this, Dave?
I think it's super important, especially for any viewers that might be coming to us from a different agency or built their own website. It's like the car analogy I gave earlier. It's a diagnostic. It'll tell you what's wrong, and you can start getting to work to fix it before it breaks. Yeah, that tool will lay out a bunch of changes or work that you can do even on your own to start boosting rankings on Google to make your site be more visible. So it's very important, and we've used it internally, and I highly recommend it.
That's awesome. So to take advantage of this offer, it's really, really simple. You must register for our upcoming webinar, SEO and other content marketing for better results. You can do that at VisionFriendly.com/webinars. So yeah, I think everybody should be getting off of this video and rushing to VisionFriendly.com/webinars to register before it's too late. But talk about the value of this webinar alone, and then on top of that, add Vision Friendly's SEO website audit worth $250 and plus. It's a win-win and another win for businesses, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. We're giving away $250 to you. So, I mean, you take the offer. Anybody should.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, Dave, thank you so much for telling us a little bit about what you plan to go over at our next webinar. We look forward to talking more about content marketing, project management, client needs, those things, and then get more on your insights on the topic on our webinar, along with our SEO specialist, Tom O'Hearn. Thanks so much, Dave. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you at next week's webinar. See you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.